Welcome everybody again, Fixed Ops Mastermind. We appreciate you being here. We have a special edition this week with being sponsored by CallRevu and ScaleVoice to discuss their new partnership in the industry and to talk about how they see this helping the industry. How ScaleVoice, for those that don't know, I'm sure Martin will get into this, but is an AI voice system. CallRevu, I don't think needs any introduction. If you don't know what CallRevu is, I'm not sure you've been in automotive for the last few years.
Through that.
So how these two see this partnership working out, and again, how this is going to benefit the dealerships, how it benefits our customers, and in the end, how this is going to help keep more people, both customers and employees, inside those dealerships. Give Martin and Ben here a chance to introduce themselves to the group, and then we'll get into some questions that I put together. As always, everybody, open format. So if you have questions, either raise your hand, wave your hand, or shout your question out so that we can get everybody involved here. So Martin, start out with you if you want to give a little introduction to the group here.
So hi guys, I'm Martin. I'm the CRO and co-founder of ScaleVoice. We are a voice AI platform that is operated outside of Europe. And we are here because we got lucky in June and we partnered with, or got lucky, Ben can tell more about it. We met CallRevu and we are working with CallRevu. We partner with them and it's the most amazing partner. So we are growing in terms of everything. Knowledge base, case studies, customers, and it's a good thing. So that's what we do. We have a history of doing voice AI for the last 4 years, since the very, very beginning when it was possible. And I think when you have questions regarding voice AI, I'm happy to answer them then.
Martin's a trooper here. Before Ben introduces himself, it's 2 a.m. there. So
yeah,
you think it's late for you, Russell? It's late for me.
Right.
Ben, a little intro of yourself for the group.
I'd love to. Dave, first, thanks for having me on the show. Martin, I really appreciate it, and we're excited about the partnership. I have the privilege of representing CallRevu. We have the privilege as an organization to represent over 6,000 dealerships in North America, mostly in the US and Canada, and we're branching out globally. Basically, at the end of the day, what we are is we're a revenue intelligence platform for dealerships. We basically listen to every single call coming in and out of a dealer. We show them where their weak spots are. We show them where they're doing well. We show them where they need to maybe do a little more training. And we show them where they can actually use some improvement.
More training, Benjamin? I love it. No, it's good.
Exactly, Russell. We show them where they need training. I mean, because look, we know, like, for a fact, like, we know that 23% of all the calls that come into a dealership are going unanswered, which is exactly where Martin's company comes in. Every call should be answered, right? It never should go to voicemail.
No.
But we also know why are there so many CSI warnings? How do we train them better that there aren't CSI warnings? How do we, if at the end of the day, if the phone is still the gold standard, what we know is 5 years ago, people would call a dealership and they'd want to know, like, what are your hours? Do you have any cars available? What colors you have? And what are your prices? Now, when they call a dealership, if it's on the sales side, they know what cars you have. They know what colors. They know what prices. They want to know what you're going to do for them. And they don't call to see what your service hours are. They're calling to make an appointment. So every time they call, it is dollars and they need to be trained best. But what we do is we get to show them what is actually happening on every single call. And every call is different. Every call is a different journey. So let's show you your good spots, show you your weak spots. And then trainers like you, Russell, could come in and actually train them and get them better. And then, when nobody's around, Martin's organization, ScaleVoice, calls come in. Doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock at night. Why shouldn't I be able to call? Like right now, it's 8:05 in New York City. If I wanted to schedule an oil change for my car and I called my dealership, I'm going to get a voicemail. They're going to say, call tomorrow. Why shouldn't someone take my call, schedule an appointment? It's all about more ROs for the dealership or sales appointments for the dealership. And that's just inbound. Imagine what we're going to be able to do with ScaleVoice for outbound.
Getting all those calls answered is so important. And look, let's be honest, that call that leaves a caller that leaves a voicemail at 8:05 a.m., they're going to be lucky if they get a call back.
Yeah.
In the morning, right. Once you open the service drive to the morning chaos, the last thing they're doing is pulling voicemails and making those phone calls.
And Dave, if you don't call me back in today's world, I'm one click away from either going to Jiffy Lube or the other Honda dealership 2 towns over that's only 20 minutes away. That happens to be on my way to work, right?
Exactly.
So you better answer my call.
Mm-hmm.
And there is
Nope.
one more highlight, because there's a lot of people who doesn't leave a voicemail. They will drop the phone when they figure out that you are closed and that you are not able to service them at that moment when they want to be serviced.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a solid number. That's just like, all right, I hear that I should leave a voicemail. I'm not leaving a voicemail, so you don't know who to call back. What was the inquiry about? And this is something where we tap in to collect, schedule, appoint, resolve when possible, or whenever possible, I would say.
No doubt a missed opportunity for sure.
Exactly, Russell.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So Ben and Martin, what was the catalyst that brought you guys together, right? For you, Ben, there's a lot of choices in voice AI companies out there right now. What is it about ScaleVoice that made you see that was the right partnership?
So not to sound like boasting, but I don't think there's a DVA, a voice, AI voice, who wouldn't want to partner with CallRevu.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you love what we do or not, you just want access to our 6,000 customers who trust us every single day. Oh, and by the way, we're listening to every call in and out. And since we bought Total CX last May, we also have 1,500 dealers who we own the phone systems inside the dealership. So think about in the old days, your IVRs, they're moving to a voice AI. So we looked at everybody, went down a couple rows with other partnerships. We found the best product. Like, we didn't just sit there. It's not like Martin knocked on the door and we were like, oh, sure, well, let's create a partnership. We beat the heck out of every single platform out there. And we picked ScaleVoice as the best player in the space. They also had to vet us, think, are we the right partner? Because they're big in Europe. I mean, they have a great presence in Europe. And coming into the US, they want to have that great presence too.
Absolutely.
So we're lucky that they chose us, but at the same point, it was like the mutual respect going like, we want to be with the, we'll call him the 10,000 pound gorilla in the space, like us when it came to the call tracking. We were like, there are so many. When you think about it, Dave, 3 years ago, when we first started looking at it, there was 2 players in the space, Stella and Brooke, right? And it's not even the same technology that
No.
and Martin's organization use. Now there's 20 players just in auto. How do you cut through the clutter? We cut through the clutter. We found the best product in the market and we partnered with them. And we are proudly and boldly going into our dealers who trust us going, this is the best one in the market.
How did you guys find each other?
Tinder? I don't know. We were just swiping. No, listen, it's a small but big space.
It really is, isn't it?
It's kind of incestuous that you get to know every player, but then also Martin and ScaleVoice did a couple of good things. They found a couple of good guys in the US, like Campbell and Jonathan, who were part of the team, who kind of knew the space. They knew who we were. We respect them in the space because they worked with other organizations. And it was kind of like the timing was perfect. If it was 3 months earlier, we might have not been ready. We might have been down the road with another partner.
Yeah.
3 months later, it was just one of those perfect, 2 ships.
Absolutely.
And same for ScaleVoice. 3 months earlier, I'll probably say it before Martin does, but that's one reason that I'm confident in our product at ScaleVoice is we were burning our fingers, so to speak, with some really early use cases of voice AI. And so we've been around the block, not only in the US a couple of times, but obviously big deployments in Europe. And so, yeah, it was perfect timing with Jonathan, building that relationship with CallRevu, just because we knew the organic way that we're going to grow is like established solutions and really that call intelligence where this DVA solution really fits in perfectly.
Beautiful.
And I
Total
love
CX, Total CX was a good one for you too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
dealers, just like dealers would come to us and ask us like, what DVA should they use? Dealers were coming to us going like, what phone system should we use? You know, you're taking every call in, and we went down the road to maybe reselling Go to Connect and Ring Central,
Sure.
Amazon, and we did that, but we were like, no, we want to own a system so we could integrate it with all of our call tracking, and now integrate it with ScaleVoice and the DVA. It
Right
just
on.
makes so much sense, and it's working. And the dealers that we've actually put it in so far, it's been a game changer. And one of the best parts about it, one of the dealers that we're using has like 30 plus stores on the West Coast, great organization. They tried everybody. And they came to us and they go, who would you use? And for us, think about this. We're doing sales and service. We have a training tool, an AI training tool, not a human training tool, Russell. Like an AI training tool that we
Oh, I'm not a trainer, but anyway.
no, but you know what I mean? Like
No.
we're not in that space.
Sure.
And we have an anti-spam product. And so they're trusting us with like 5, 6 products.
Yeah.
We're going to bring another one in. We're not going to bring in one that's not going to be superior to all the others in this space and lose our core business. End of the day, we care about sales and service, and all the calls go in. Anything we put on top of it better make our offerings even better, not make it where they're like, man, you guys messed this up. We're going to leave you. So we have that obligation to our clients to only bring the best products to the market.
Smart moves. All of them.
Along those lines, Ben, the auto industry is filled with these bolt-on solutions, right? Some old tech that bolted on new tech, some new tech that bolted old tech, whatever it is. How are you guys making sure that this integrates well?
We're a platform first. We're not a series of products. ScaleVoice isn't a standalone product. If it doesn't integrate seamlessly into our sales, service, and our other products, then why do it? Like, why buy it from us? I don't think we'd even be interested in going to market. And I don't think Martin and the team would be interested in working with us if we
It
weren't
has
going to.
to.
You need to
It
feel
has
like you're
to.
in one pane of glass wherever
If
you
you-
are, and that's our goal.
If you want to make this successful at any I would say company, it needs to integrate and it needs to look like one product. It needs to behave like one product towards the customer, because the customer don't want 2 dashboards. He doesn't want to he needs to have one. I like this phrase. He needs to make one neck to throat, like one throat to choke. Sorry, and that's the right way around it. So, and I think what I loved on when we were in the beginning of the partnership, Ben and Lily, who is taking care of us on the CallRevu side, came and, all right, guys, you won the beauty contest. Now, how can we make it work together? That was a very, very, very good thing to hear. Like, you won the beauty contest, because we know they were let's say, vetting also other players on the market, and hearing that we won the beauty contest was a nice thing to hear.
Yeah, those
So-
integration points are critical. And last thing dealers need is, I call it an ADD, another damn dashboard that doesn't work with their existing platforms.
Right. And then on the other side, we integrate seamlessly as an organization into all the CRMs, all the DMSs, and that's needed as well. We want to bring it to where the customer's at. We don't want to make the customer go where we are.
That's something different for automotive, right?
Uh-huh.
It's always the vendor making the dealer go to where they are. Meet them where they're at.
Yeah, those days are about over just because of the sheer data play itself.
Absolutely. Martin, can you? It's Kit AI, right? That you're calling it.
In the US, we named it Kit after, after the car Kit, from Knight Rider. So that was our.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Love that.
But
that.
the name of the product for more, not to talk for, could be called anything you want to be called in your dealership. If it was Dave Foy Automotives, the person who could answer could actually be Dave Foy's voice saying,
I like it.
welcome to it. It could be Russell if it's your dealership. It doesn't really make a difference. We just picked a name that kind of like, it's hard to just go into the market for us, go, ScaleVoice. What is ScaleVoice?
Right.
It's your voice, and it tells. It's better for storytelling. End of the
Mhm.
day, no matter where ScaleVoice is, the technology is the same in a good way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Martin, can you kind of tell us a bit about, you don't have to go technical, but about the foundation of how it works. How is the AI trained? Like when they go into a new dealership, is it start from scratch type of stuff? Is it completely ready built, or does it have to learn what's going on at the dealership?
I think I need to tell the entire story how we started. So originally we are basically coming from one of the largest used car dealership group in Europe, 77 rooftops, buying from private sellers over 100,000 cars a year, selling to private sellers over 100,000 cars a year. And this group used or have 300 people on a call center. It's called Aures. We have a public case study, amazing case study in automotive news, everything. And let's say as a head start, we received 300,000 recordings of conversation for acquiring vehicles. Now we trained and polished our tech based on the recordings we received, which helped us, let's say, it was a nice head start 3 years back or 3.5 years back compared to everyone else, because everyone else was building from scratch and we were building from 300,000 recordings. So we had the data from which to build. And now speaking of how we adapted it to the US market, because obviously different language, once you have it working in any language, the flip to other languages is fairly simple. So once we made it work in Czech, we now have it published in Turkish, Finland, Sweden, UK, obviously. So we go market by market. And in States now, if you are a dealership, you want to get on board it, you fill a form where we want to collect your attributes. So how do you work currently? What's your integration? How do you resolve some issues? Do you serve customers of all brands, or you prefer some makes over others? So we collect these details. Based on that, the prompt is built in terms of like what's delivered to the customer, and it go live. And it's, I would say, very seamless at this point to onboard a new customer, and especially in the inbound products, which are, let's say, serial, but also to the outbound products. We have something like 10 templates at this point for the most common use cases in automotive. Sell my car, one of them. So if you want to acquire vehicles from KBB ICO and you don't want people to be making these calls because it's something you need to do immediately, that doesn't wait, and you want people to perhaps answer or make a follow-up or something that's required a more accurate, more detailed, polished touch, the speed to lead is much higher with voice AI. Why? Because it's just systematic. So the leads comes in, it's a trigger, triggers a call out. So that's how we build it. And that's actually, Sell My Car is our original where we started from, because that's where we did this year 1,470,000 calls for acquisitions. So
For acquisitions.
yeah, the outbound Sell My Car leads we do in Europe, that's the number at this point.
That's interesting. How many dealerships do you think in the US are doing acquisition with AI?
Very few, I believe.
I would say it's a really low percentage that's doing acquisition. Yeah.
but it's going to change. I think if we did this broadcast a year from now, if it's 2026,
Yeah.
I think the answer would be a little bit different. It's going to be who's not doing it, why aren't they doing it, what are the trials and tribulations you've learned from this?
Yeah. Yeah. And how cheap can I buy their dealership?
And
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the US, it's not about languages, it's about accents.
So this is, I would say, also magic of what's available now. So originally, I mean, especially when you are training it on small languages like Czech is, where you're coming from, 10 million people, it's a small language model in comparison to any other. It's one of the smaller ones. And so if you use the out of the box, it's not going to work. So what we had to do We had to train it on a voice talent, we call it. So we scanned the voice talent to be able to have like a professional voice recording of specific automotive conversations. We then used the 300,000 recordings also to enhance it. And at that point, you have exactly the voice of the person from the call center or BDC you want to use. Now in English, it's much easier because you just go and choose, but also we can, like, you have your favorite BDC or your favorite agent, and they sign you a paper of okay, you can use my voice, and you give him some cash for it. You can. You need 12 minutes of his recordings.
Stephen, I think one of the keys, because you brought up, it's not just accents in the US, it's like Spanglish. The problem is we could have the AI smart enough to go, if you speak Spanish, it's going to turn to Spanish. You speak English, it's going to be in English. The problem is with a lot of others, not with ScaleVoice, is the moment, if I was Spanish, I'm going to say 18 words in Spanish, then I'm going to go Friday afternoon at 2. And then I'm going to go back into Spanish because just how anyone who's assimilated into the country, how
Sure.
they speak, AI has to pick it up. And that's what really confuses most AI models, doesn't confuse ScaleVoice because they built it for that and works in other languages as well. And everywhere you go, you have to be able to be in tune to how the customer speaks, not how we speak, right? So
Yeah,
I love it.
sounds fantastic. It's great.
Great opportunity. And the time is now. A year from now, they're missing the curve already.
yep.
It's moving that fast.
Yeah, well, a lot of that stuff is moving that fast, and you
Mhm.
have a lot of guys sitting there watching, and the stuff that changes in 6 months is astounding. And so if you wait a year and a half, that's a lifetime.
Your
in AI.
competitors going to eat. Your competitors are going to eat your
Yeah.
lunch. The other thing is, in the early people who tried it early adopters, they might not have had a good experience. They're like, no, we're done with this. This isn't going to work. It's not. You like to say it's not your father's Chevrolet, right?
That's right.
It's not your father. It's not 8 months ago's AI, right? It is.
Yeah.
It is now. You need to try it again. And also, a lot of people had sticker shock going like $5,000 a month for an AI attendant to answer the phone. It's not.
Mhm.
The price is getting down to where it should be normal, where the dealership can make a lot of money on using it and be a 24. They could be 7-Eleven, right? They could be open 24/7 and service their customers when their customers want to be serviced. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
that's that meeting your customer where they are, not where you are. So
Yeah. So how do you think, well, from fixed ops, obviously, which is where I've lived my life, how do you think fixed ops leaders should be looking at this partnership and how it can help them and how they can measure whether it's helping them?
Oh,
I'll let
that's
Mark go
easy.
first.
That's easy. So there is, I would say, number one metric is like, look at, if you have CallRevu, look at how many calls you missed, because you have that number over there. Now, get that to 0. Imagine that half of the people are calling at least to book an appointment, and we can process those and book an appointment. Now, multiply it by your average RO, and you are getting to ROI because you know how much it costs, you know how much you make. And that's one perspective. The other one, and why is it extremely beneficial to work with CallRevu for us, is that you have all the data under one roof. So you can see it in one dashboard all together regarding people and AI as a common performance. So you have, all right, this is what we missed, and I'm not saying, and if somebody is saying that AI is able to resolve all of the calls, it's not. It's gonna have a dropouts depending on how many, like the volume is changing also by region, by customer base, but it's gonna have dropouts. You want to know why it's having these dropouts, how many, and if people, and this is important, followed up on these missed opportunities by AI, because okay, AI picked up the, I would say the heavy lifting can be done now by AI, but you still want to like get the maximum of the revenue, right? That's what you're after. So you want to also do the rest with people, and you want to check if it's done.
Do you think that
I would think that for the service advisors, the amount of time you would save them just because they're not making phone calls or taking phone calls or interrupting their process. I think just the amount of time that they get back from that would be huge.
Steven, how about if we just cut out status updates?
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, obviously, that's not why you would do an AI attendant, but if the AI attendant can actually handle status updates, how much more time can you be dealing with ROs that are really important for your dealership, ROs that make you money, not just service update? And what is the thing that gets customers the most frustrated? Where in the process is my car? When I'm calling, and then what happens when I call service and I can't get through service? They get transferred to sales, and then the salesperson is dealing with someone who just wants to know when their tire rotation is going to be done, and they're missing a call from someone trying to call in to buy a brand new car. I think it helps the whole dealership overnight.
Do you think that because I do a lot of reading, plus I'm very involved on the technology and the AI side as well, not in the area that you guys are in, but it's like people are the ones in the rooms and groups that I'm associated with. It's not trying to replace your job. Okay. It's a supplement to make you more efficient. And so you don't have to do the mundane shit that answering and returning all the phone calls, because that alone keeps you from doing everything else. And the most important person that you have to deal with is the one standing in front of you. It's the client or guest that's in front of you right now.
I think you nailed it. Look, the CEO of Adobe said when AI first came out, like everyone was scared of it. And he goes, really, what AI is about for you in a creative world is to just get rid of the fear of a blank page, right? It's not supposed to write it for you. It's supposed to
Right.
at least help you. It's exactly what it's supposed to do in a dealership. It's supposed to get the fear out of it. It's supposed to just make your operations run smoothly, see where your blind spots are. And on the call review side, outside of being a partner with ScaleVoice, we take the ScaleVoice AI, let's call it Kit for this case. Kit to us is just another employee, another salesperson, another agent, another service rep. We're analyzing every single call that Kit is taking. And look, like Martin said, it's not perfect, right? So we can sit there and go, hey, the difference between a human and the AI, where we see weakness and where we need to tweak it, we can tweak it and make it better. Wish we can train humans the same way and go, all right, this keeps on happening to you. Let's make this better. And so it makes your organization more well-rounded. And that's really what we're trying to do. And I never think it's going to take the place of a human. I'm never going to buy a car from an AI agent. Will I schedule my oil change? Absolutely, all day long. But I'm still the guy when an AI agent, when I call United to make a plane reservation, I'm still the one going human, right? Because I want to talk to someone who might be able to help me a little bit different. And that's the same thing here. The AI is there to help. But if you really need to still talk to someone, the job of the AI is to deliver you to that person as well. Obviously, not at 9 o'clock at night, but during your office hours.
That's
But
when
the
it really
biggest- yeah.
when it really clicked for me with our initial deployments with CallRevu was the fact that our AI will appear as another employee within the CallRevu system, so they can see the exact, track all of the same stuff they would want to track with their current workflows handling the calls. And then to your point, Russell, that was a super good point about like what's going on in the dealerships. And another really eye-opening thing in one service department that we're working with, we're getting hundreds and hundreds of overflow calls during working hours. Because culturally, and I can't speak for how it is across the industry, but this like specific service department, they're there to handle the customers that are there. They're fixing the cars, and they were straight up just missing these calls because they don't have the people to do it, and they know that. And they were, it was a little bit of a contention within the dealership. We could tell of like, they're frustrated, they're missing calls. And so we were capturing during working hours hundreds of calls. And so that's a really good example of how they're there to do their job. They're fixing the cars and all of that, and we're just answering the overflow service calls. So I think that's to the hundreds. And so that's a really good example of
To
that.
pile onto what Campbell said, think about on the call review side. Just on the sales and service side, we take 250 million calls in every year. With our phone system, it's about 1 billion phone calls every year. I know every single one of our customers' dealership when calls are going to voicemail. So if it's your service department, I'll know if at 3 o'clock on every Wednesday, it seems like 30 calls are going to voicemail and you only have 2 operators. You as an organization have a choice. Do I need to have 4 people in the service department answering phone calls? Or do I sit there and go, I need a voice AI because I'm going to have my 2 people and I can't hire someone just to come in for 2 hours a day. That's what it's supposed to do. Look at your whole entire organization, see where the holes are or where we need support. And that's what the AI, so there's no holes in your net, right? It stops everything from going to the dreaded voicemail.
Yeah, they've all tried hiring more people, and it just creates more problems.
Yeah, what it
Transferring
seems
to
that
a
AI
BDR isn't a good thing
specializes.
either, right? It's like, so someone's going to answer the phone, like if it's off hours in the Philippines and they're not tied into X time and all the services. So what's going to happen? And we want to keep it inside your dealership, every single call.
Yeah, AI gives you something that is irreplaceable. It's called time. Okay. Once the
a lot of
minute
dealers
goes, it goes. It's like an airplane seat. Okay. Once the plane takes off, you're not selling the seat. Once the minute goes, whether you wasted it or what you did with it, ain't coming back. So I think that time value is something that if guys really understood the value of what the wasted time is costing them, I think they'd appreciate a lot of these things more.
Yep.
One thing I learned recently, and we went to visit Cardinale Group, is, and I see this across the board with dealers, is they're really keen on accountability. And when especially Tom Cardinale, he's wonderful, and he's very much a proponent and just a fan of accountability and holding his teams accountable. And he's got one of the best teams I've ever seen in any vertical. And what's showing real numbers and measurable results, it creates a catalyst for real change for laziness, right? You can really spot laziness whenever humans are being lazy, you can really spot the inadequacies, and that's a value add for sure for what CallRevu brings to the table with some of their suite as well. So,
well, and Jonathan, since you brought up Cardinale, like, listen, Tom would be the first person who would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, Martin's time right now, and tell me if there was an issue going on. So it better be good, because this AI is representing his family. The name on the building is the Cardinale family name, and him and Joe take it very, very serious. And that's a lot of pressure on our shoulders, but it's something that we can live up to.
yep.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
So I vetted obviously a lot of vendors, a lot on the AI side. Anybody that knows me on LinkedIn knows that, I've gone with Toma over the others. Brooke and Stella are not even valid to be in the conversation and haven't been. But my question is we've talked about CallRevu having that call. Is it tracking the call? So if I go in as a service manager to listen to that call, it starts with the AI and then maneuvers over to a human. Am I still getting that whole call in one transaction?
Absolutely. We're the phone
Okay.
number, right? It's the phone.
Right.
You call
Okay.
in.
I just wanted to make
every
sure that
single
if I'm
time.
listening to
Yep.
it, I'm seeing it all the way through. Okay.
You see
So
it
next
all the way
question
through.
is, if I don't like something that the bot is doing in that call, do I have access right there on the spot to be able to assist to train the bot?
You can
While the
change.
call's
Or do
going
I
on.
need to send an email to you guys? Or no. So I've listened to.
Oh, so you're listening to
I know
the recording afterwards?
I'm
Okay.
only in the several thousands, but
Yep.
but I want the ability to be able to go in and say I don't like the way the bot handled that. I guess before we even get to that part is the bot a Numa bot or is the bot a Toma bot where it has the ability to carry a conversation and go wherever it goes, or is it caged?
No, it's it's definitely partially caged because we are having guardrails that's not letting it discuss weather with a customer. because we don't want to discuss weather with a customer. So it's guardrailed to discuss fixed ops, to discuss service scheduling, for example, or discuss buying the vehicle. That's one part. On the other hand, it's voice AI as you know it as a voice AI. So I have no idea what Numa has at this point, but if you're describing Numa and Toma, I'm aware what Toma has, let's say 2 months back. So that's definitely on that side of the equation. So I know what Numa had 7 months back. I don't know what they have now.
Sure.
So we are over there. I would say one more, perhaps amazing thing that happened just today in Europe, guys. So I'm not able to quote it for states, but mystery shopping is happening from the OEM towards all of the dealers, right?
Yeah.
To test, to validate based on some score sheet, how many points out of 100 you're able to collect as a dealer. Now in Turkey, we are working with the largest dealership called Çetaş Automotive. And we are working in a Renault, which is purely French brand. I'm almost sure it doesn't work doesn't sell in States at this point. But we got to 100 out of 100 today, which was a very nice appreciation of how well it works, how well it's built, because it was a mystery shopper called. So they called the voice, because the first layer over there is voice AI. They rated it. We got 100. Now I'm trying to get the green light. I got the green light from Çetaş that I can use it. I'm trying to get the green light from Renault to share it with us. That voice AI is at the where you put it, how you set it, it's gonna stay there. It's stable. So if you set it in a way that it's behaving as you wish on this part of the or this particular call, it's behaving as you wish. That's the important piece. So you kind of decide how it works, and then it's working that way. And now it's important for you to set it up correctly. That's the most important piece. And I think we did this for
Sure.
most of the dealers, but you still have the ability to make tweaks, to make different things, different setups. Today, feedback came from one of our rooftops that we've scheduled flat tire fix, and they say we don't fix tires. But I was like, yeah, but you didn't sort of provide that information, nor in your X time, nor in your onboarding. So for us, you are fixing tires, and that's why we booked for you fixing tires. But
And the
we
blinker.
adjusted it. So you can switch these things, and we are. That's why I said it's not perfect. I don't believe in any product being perfect.
No.
So it's always work in progress, but I think we are deep in how good it can get to
Yeah. Well,
we are close.
I can see you guys. There's some big moves and big plays out there. Stuff that you will be able to do with what you're doing right now, and own a bigger piece of. It's like, yeah. It's I kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Thank
If
you.
only it was that easy to get dealers to sell tires, that'd be great.
Fixed
Yeah,
tires,
especially when
fixed
30% of the population doesn't even know they sell tires.
Nope.
Right. So just another follow-up. So is it one voice, or do you have the ability to have a couple of different voices, male, female, and you can set them can set them on a rotation?
Oh,
So
whoa.
that sounds like it's different people.
No, so rotation we never did. So to be frankly, we never did the rotation of voices, but you can choose any kind of a voice you wish for your dealership, your setup. What we have, for example, now in Cardinal as well. So Spanish voice is different from the English voice. So when we are reconnecting you to
Sure.
Spanish voice, yeah, it's different. But it's always picked up by one voice, or different voices per different rooftops. But as per rooftop, it's one voice per rooftop at this point. So it's not like a rotation. If you call 7 times, you're gonna 7 times have the same person answering
Same
the phone.
person. Okay. All right.
And,
Same. So it's always Kit.
We're also not trying to I don't want to say trick the customer, but there's no point in feigning that you're on the phone to the human. I'm not saying that's what anyone else is doing, but that's just kind of our view too, is this is the voice they're adopting for that rooftop, that kind of thing.
Sure. No, I mean, I definitely understand it. I would just say, kind of like in the conversation that we were just having about United and still wanting to talk to a human and whatever. I found that if you have multiple voices, and it's not, especially on a status call where they've called in and the human hasn't done what they're supposed to do, if they at least get three different automated voices, it kind of keeps the temperature turned down. So,
We'll transfer you to my manager.
I'm vetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the call I don't want. But
Yeah.
I'm just asking the questions on things that I've seen from the early adoption of Stella to where we're finding the top names, which obviously you guys are part of. I just like to be able to ask all the questions so I can see what the difference is, because in theory, I find now, because I've been so involved with AI, that I'm more willing to talk to an AI now, not a Stella or a Brooke caliber, but one that can actually talk to me. So I think because we're training, we're being trained between talking to chat and all these other things, that AI is now normal. The more normal we make it for our guests to be having a general conversation like they would with us, the better we're going to actually continue the process. So, that's why I'm asking these questions. Is it's things that
Kyle,
I've seen
I
in
think
That's
store.
good.
yeah, I think the key is, and I don't want to talk for ScaleVoice, it's not a technology limitation. It could do that. If that was really the goal,
Sure.
like having that when you call into this part of the company, it's going to be this voice, or every third time you call, that's not a technology limitation. It's just so far it's been a business decision. Like, let's give the voice of your dealership,
Sure.
get used to
Sure.
it. But if a dealer came to us and said, this is how we want to run it, I'm sure Martin and the team would be able to make that happen. It's not a technology
Yeah,
thing.
and another point to that is having like a bounded workflow. So this customer's calling into the service line, we know, and therefore we're putting the guardrails in the AI to say we want to book this person for a service appointment in X time. And so we're mapping all of that and being very structured about it, where we could 100% have a very open conversational AI about anything per the technology. And Martin and the team are some of the best in the business with AI engineering and all of that. But what we're trying to set up for the dealerships is something that's very, very structured, and we're laser focused on whatever that specific workflow is that's going to solve the problems for the dealer.
The call review team
Sure.
does a fantastic job of discovery in every call I've ever been on with them, with dealers. And one of the things that they really harp on is not deviating far outside of your current process. Don't come in and think that this is going to change. Introducing AI, if you change a bunch of things about your current process, what you're doing right now, then you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. And I'll give Lily a shout out. She's really, really great at hammering that home and just adopting this into their workflow, not the other way around, right? So that's super.
I will highlight what helps CallRevu with doing so. I mean, when you have all of the call recordings, it would be kind of odd not to know what the workflow is, right? So that's perhaps very, very helpful that CallRevu is our partner, knowing how the current service booking at the dealership is going, how it should go, and based on that, building the next steps in the AI.
When you have a
I think knowing.
I'm sorry, go, Kyle.
I think knowing that there's going to be different levels of clients that you're dealing with, and being able to pivot depending on the wants of that specific group, that's the key for me. I think that I am doing things that are a little bit more outrageous, and I like to take shots where, some of the other dealer groups are, hey, set it, forget it, and this is the way we are. But hearing that you guys are willing to listen to those things, I want to be more advanced than every other dealer out there, period. I want my guests to have the best experience in my store 100% of the time, and I'm trying to create that experience. So when I'm asking you these questions, I'm not saying, hey, this is bad or good or whatever. Obviously,
great question.
I just want to. I think that there's going to be stores and groups that are out there that are going to be Stella Brook level, and then there's going to be stores like me that are going to be out of control, asking you to do things that you never thought somebody would ask.
Which is great, and we need them all.
Yeah. I think it's exciting, and obviously I haven't seen you guys. I knew you were coming stateside, but I didn't know you were there. So John, can you send me a message? I'd like to actually get a formal demo to see what it is.
Gotcha, brother.
Thank you.
Do you guys
I mean, it's
have
exciting. It's exciting having all that.
Thanks.
good, Cal?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So the balance between the AI and the humans, I know most of the dealers that I talk to are using it as either the after hours that you talked about, Ben, or overflow at times when advisors, I say overflow, sometimes just advisors not answering,
Right.
but you know what I mean. Are there any dealerships that you have that are going AI first, where they're just taking it right off of their people and
Yes.
going AI?
Yes, but think of that as a receptionist, right? I mean, if you still call my number, right? I'm the service guy and you have my service direct line.
Yeah.
It would still come to me first. And if I don't answer the phone, then it goes to, but AI receptionist is where it's going. Think about when you call into a dealership and an IVR answers and it goes, hey, press 1 for sales, 2 for this. Why can't a human go, hey, Dave, you're calling back again. How can I help you? And where do you want to go? And then that either brings you to the service AI, right? Or it brings you to a human or wherever you want to go. That is, we think, the first line. I think 75 to 80% of dealers over the next year, 2 years, it'll be an AI receptionist, right? Because I want somebody to be able to talk to me and know a lot about me and be able to pull up my information instantly and go, oh, I know Dave Foy's phone number. This is Dave Foy. He's bought 4 cars from us.
Mhm.
Hey, Dave, how's your Toyota doing or whatever, and then pass you on. That's like layer 1.
And get me to the right place the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
And not be counting on, did I hear that right extension this? Say his name, spell his name, whatever you need to do. Let me get to the right person at the right time as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And the AI is going to know if the person isn't going to answer. And so if he forwards you off to Martin and Martin's on another call, you're not going to get 5 rings and go to his voicemail. It's going to come back and go, hey, Martin's on the phone.
Yep.
What can I do for you? Can I take a message? Should I have him text you? Do you want to talk to someone else? Like, solve my problem.
Yeah, that's the other side of it, right? Where a call does get answered, but it doesn't get to the person that they were trying to reach, and now the frustration level is
Yeah.
right.
The call was answered, but the problem, there was no solution. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a prediction that eventually every salesperson inside a dealership is going to have an AI partner with him.
Mhm.
And so when I'm on the call, if someone will answer, go, hey, I'm Ben's assistant, Steve, and I'm here to help you. I'm his AI. Oh, you were looking at the Toyota. Let me send you the pictures. Let me send you the comps. He wanted me. I keep that conversation. It's like my alter ego
100%.
is always there. But I mean,
100%.
Martin's the expert, so he'll tell you if it can actually
It's not
happen.
that far
Yeah.
out either, is it?
No,
I told
it's
Dave this maybe, but I was at the headquarters at Meta here in Austin, and they just rolled out their new Meta glasses. And in dealership, I was talking to some of the guys in the automotive space at Meta, and we were meeting and we were talking about a world where they walk around with the Meta glasses on and diagnose, much like UVI does, right? Where you drive it through the UVI machine, but they have the Meta glasses on and they can see what's wrong with the vehicle and how much it's going to cost to fix and things like diagnostics and it's mind-blowing where all this is going. But it's pretty cool. Sorry,
Ben, what you
that's struck a
described
chord
is
there.
halfway there, and it's gonna be there. So halfway there already. Adoption is the only thing that's gonna take longer, but tech-wise, it's
Yeah,
gonna be there in 3 months.
yeah.
Adoption-wise, obviously that's gonna take a year or 2, but tech-wise, to be able to like the I would call it the first layer is the smart voicemail. is like, I'm calling Ben, Ben's not answering, so I'm going to collect all of the information from what you want from Ben. And I'm going to pass it through him to a text message and let him know if he wants to call you back immediately or if it's something I can do in an hour. Now,
Voicemail is prime for disruption.
exactly.
I-
Then you go with connected level, which is connected to the CRM, because we will know what's happening in your e-leads. So we know that if this car is available, what cars are you looking for, all of this information. Because if we are speaking about Ben as a salesperson in a dealership, at that point, you know that Ben is working as a salesperson in a dealership at this CDK CRM, and we know if the car is there, what is the mileage on the vehicle, if it's used, and that's also, that's not 3 months, that's now. Now what's on, and you will be adding and adding and adding, and it's going to be AI workflow assisting you. And I think it's not wrong. I think the layer where you want to meet people is the one which is face to face. So I come to the dealership, and there I don't want to talk to a bot. I want to see a person over there. And I want them to sell me the vehicle, because I mean, there is still job to do. There is still, like, come to the test drive, sit here, touch it. You need leather seats, all of these informations. You want to go through and buy the car and sign the papers. But the virtual stuff that's happening over the phone, I believe it's going to be AI in 2 years, because adoption is going to be the thing slowing it down from both. I don't mean the dealers necessarily. I believe the consumers as well has a say in this, because as long as the consumers are not adopting, dealers doesn't have to adopt. At the moment consumers adopt, dealers has to adopt as well, because imagine what I will have as one of the first people, I think, will be, because as I'm going to be very honest, I'm not loyal to any dealership at this point. I want to get my oil change done the fastest and the cheapest possible. So preferably tomorrow at the lowest rate. So I'm going to tell to my AI assistant, dear Steve, call to all of the dealerships in the surrounding of 5 miles or 10 miles and get me the cheapest oil change. And guess what it creates for the dealers? So they would be normally getting calls from me because it consumes my time. I would be calling one. If they wouldn't answer, then two. And the first one to answer has my business. Now, when I don't have to do it myself and I can give it to voice AI or AI assistant, it's going to do the calls. It's going to capture which one has the earliest availability and earliest or easiest access and the least money costing, and it's going to book it. But for the dealer, the volume of calls just multiply by 10x, because instead of 2 calls or 5x, instead of 2 calls, I did 10. And at that point, this adoption happening, if the dealer isn't equipped with voice AI, now they are being overloaded. Imagine that the volume of calls is 5 times higher. No chance. And you are actually going to be, it's going to be vice versa. So if you would be having a human over there talking to the voice, it would be kind of funny scenario going vice versa on what's happening now. So I would be human calling, my voice AI calling into a human, booking with a human. That's an odd scenario. So
They
Mark,
really need
do
to.
you see?
I was
you-
just going to say
do
they
you
really
see-
need to find a holistic approach to the technology, because what you guys are talking about is one small piece of it.
Yep.
The dealership as a whole, they have to have a more holistic, more connected view of technology so that it all fits and works together. Because right now, a lot of it is very dysfunctional and it does one thing really well, but then it creates 4 or 5 other problems for someone else who doesn't have that technology. And the integration of the technology is going to be critical. And the guys that work on that over the next 5 years will be the guys that succeed, because in about 7 or 8 years, they're already talking about having AGI.
Yep.
That's an entirely different world. And they've already, the people at Meta and several others have already said, yep, we know how to do that. We're going to have that in about 5 or 6 years. I mean,
You can call me anytime. I'll talk to you about this for hours.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's funny. I went and visited Google when I worked with Ford, and
Yeah.
you talk to the people there they worked for Google because they're interested in creating the next great thing.
Right.
Okay. They're not interested in becoming the general manager. They're not interested in going up to the net. They don't care about that. None of that. So when they're done with their project, if Google has a project for me, great. But if Meta has a better one, guess what? I'm going to go somewhere else, you know, and they don't have any problem with that. And the guy I was talking to, he'd been there 11 years and he was like, yeah, man, I'm one of the old timers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, 11 years and you're an old timer? But yeah, it's a very different mindset and the speed with which this stuff is coming. And I think Martin's absolutely right. The technology is the easy part.
Yep.
Getting it to fit in with people is the hard part. That's what a lot of them are working on now. How do they
That's
make
why
that
that's why I'm personally am ecstatic to be working with CallRevu. Straight up.
It's
Why you have
it's
it so much?
distribution, parts, warehousing, connected services, and it's all going to play a critically important part.
Spot on, Russell.
So Martin, do you feel like I just want to go back to what you're saying because it sounds awesome, and if you have a way for me to do it now, I want to do it. But so you think that everybody's going to have a personal AI assistant that's going to
That's
do
right.
all the monotonous crap that we have to do in our life, and
Thanks.
essentially, all right. So that being said, if we have the mindset of fastest, cheapest, that means that in theory, gross profit's going to go down significantly because now you have a price game.
See, I think it's the other way
Whereas-
around myself. But anyway, go ahead.
I think you're right, Russell.
Yeah.
You think that everybody goes up?
I think it's
No,
I think
they're gonna
profits
be
go
able
up.
to choose. They're going to be able to choose what they want, guys. There are some people that they want quality, and they're willing to pay for that. There are other people that just want the cheapest and fastest. Okay, they
Sure.
can do that, but you're going to find that assistant can do whatever you want them to do. If you want it to be fast and cheap, it's
I
fast.
think at the end of the day, the cream is always going to rise. If
Right.
you're-
Yeah, I think it's
you're a good
exactly the
dealership,
opposite. And the
you're gonna be a
reason
better
why,
dealership, you're not a good dealership, you're not going to win from it. It's
Agreed.
cream.
I mean, 7
agree.
out of 10 people nationally, by the time the warranty period's up, have defected. So if they don't defect, the statistics are overwhelming. Those that continue to service with you, if you fix those holes like tires, you know, the simple stuff that people defect over, right? I think the profits go up long term.
I agree.
I think
So
they
in-
do,
so-
and I
Hardest thing to do in the world is win a customer. When you get a customer, you want to keep that customer over and over and over again.
So in theory, it's a legacy employee equals a legacy customer, and that's how we're all going to succeed is legacy employees, legacy customers, and part of that legacy employee is your AI.
All right, if you look at it that way, that makes sense.
But your legacy employee with that AI assistant is now containing all that institutional
Yeah.
knowledge.
100%. That's what that's what I'm saying is with their AI assistant, they now become somebody that's never going to go
Dude.
anywhere because they have everything they need and they're going to be happy.
Could you imagine the sheer? I can't. It's overwhelming. I can't even fathom it so big. The sheer volume of data in one location, and what AI will be able to achieve with that data to keep you on the hook and coming back is just phenomenal.
How about if the data takes our call data that we already have and the AI
Yeah.
goes, I know so much about the last 50 phone calls Martin's made to this dealership.
Yeah.
I know what he likes. I know what his kid's birthday. I know everything.
It's
Yes.
mind-boggling. It's
Amen.
mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Yep.
and
It's awesome.
everything
Dave, this was fun,
everything is
Dave.
data.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hey, we got to go another hour, okay? No.
Martin,
Martin's ready to go to bed.
Poor Martin, it's 3:00 in the morning.
That's right.
Exactly, guys. I'm not sure if I'm able to do another hour.
No, I hear you, man.
Martin, thank you very much, and same with
Yes.
you, man. That was
No,
fantastic.
Yeah,
Stephen, we
thank you
appreciate
for-
this. The questions were great.
Thank you guys for coming on, and Martin, thanks for coming on so late, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot
Early.
of great information for sure.
Late.
Right,
Not
right.
early. We had the discussion in the very beginning. So, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to whatever is coming, and let's see.
We'll be watching.
You better be.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Martin and
Bye.
Ben's Scale
Later, guys.
Voice Call Review. Thanks so much, guys.